Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Um, since we are all studying for different programs and most of us are not very well aware that how to study and what to study, how to make a study plan, which books to refer, from where to get the past papers, which groups to join. So, study becomes very difficult when you do not have any idea about all these things. From my personal experience, I felt that we need to have some guide, a proper guide to begin the study plan for whatever degree program we are going to study for. So recently I have gone through some difficulties for the exams of Royal College of Ireland, like Diploma in Primary Care Dentistry and MFD-1, or I was also looking for MFDS exam and all that. But in the end, I found in my journey of study, I found a lot of nice people. They guided me. They provided me a lot of material. And at the same time, I found the people who were not willing to share anything. I tried to reach them. But every time I failed from a lot of people who were saying they have past papers. When I was trying to contact them, even I was willing to pay, but they were charging me so high that I couldn't afford based upon my, country's currency difference. Even then, if I wouldn't have been having any difference of the currency, even then it was hard for me to pay a lot of cost. And the second thing was that even if I would have won the cost for the past papers, but even then I was not sure whether those are true or not. So such things definitely disturb us. We want somebody to give us a good idea. We want somebody to really sincerely guide us how to study, what to study. Even though if we pay, we want somebody to, tell us the truth rather than lying and just to make the money. So guys, I have gone through my exams of Diploma in Primary Care Dentistry. I have gone with MFD. Although I have not gone for MFDS, but I'll guide you about how to prepare for MFDS-1 also, because the preparation for DipPCD, the preparation for MFD-1, and the preparation of MFDS-1 is almost alike. Here is a very little difference. So I hope my guidance will provide you some idea, and hopefully it will help you. Although I'm not an educational consultant, but from my personal experience, I feel I can guide you, I can help you how to appear in the exam and how to study effectively. According to me, to begin study, first of all, you have to make your study plan. Without making your study plan, you cannot begin the study. This is the key point. For example, you want to appear in the exam probably 2 months before the exam or 3 months before the exam. For my personal experience, I tell you, I appeared for both of the exams, for MFD as well as DipPCD, around 3 months before. For example, like for DipPCD, I appeared Diploma in Primary Care Dentistry. I prepared for 2 months. And quickly after that, I appeared within 25 days, I appeared for MFD exam. Although the time was very short for me, but I made this decision that I shall appear in these exams and I shall study and I should get through these exams. And Alhamdulillah, I got through the exams with first attempt. So that's why I want to share my own way of study over here. Hopefully it will help you and it will guide you. So before making any decision of your study, whatever study program you want to go for, always make a study plan. And that study plan need a proper mapping, a proper map. For example, I say here that I planned to study for the exam, and I know that I need to study with the most difficult topic. Like, for example, I don't like embryology. So the most difficult is embryology for me. Now I know embryology is difficult because it will take me more time. And the subjects which are easier for me, they will require less time for preparation. So as I say that I will begin with embryology, then it's not that embryology I need to study, but for embryology, again, I need to make a plan. Which thing I will begin first, then what I will begin second, then what I will study next, like this. For example, in embryology, I planned to study, the development of tongue. For the development of tongue in embryology, first of all, I should begin from the basic, like from the pharyngeal arches and pharyngeal pouches and all that. After I know how many types of pharyngeal arches, pharyngeal pouches and all that, then I will switch to the next thing, that I will be studying an individual arch and pouch. After knowing individual arch and pouch, what is the fate of all that, then I'll come slowly and gradually to the things which I really wanted to come across. Like we begin with the white topic, like how many pharyngeal arches and pouches are in the development. For each individual arch and pouch I studied, I knew from where is the tongue getting origin. Then I begin with the tongue, like how it is developing, at what stage it is developing, what week of intrauterine life starts, what is its prenatal growth, is there any postnatal growth and all that. And then related problems and related questions. So as I told you, proper plan, proper mapping, mind map. Please follow your study plan strictly. If you will not follow your study plan strictly, it means you would not be able to complete your course in a due time. For me, I used to start my study at 9 o'clock. Means every day, 9 morning, I have to begin my study. It doesn't mean that you be a bookworm and you study all the day. No, you study for 1 hour because you're fresh in the morning. If you do not want to begin at 9 o'clock, start 9:30 or 10, but try to study as early as possible because the mind is fresh in that time. Some people like to study from 6 o'clock, but I'm not that kind of a person. I try to begin between 8 and 9. Then continue. When you start study in the morning, then try to do continuous study for at least 1.5 hours because our mind is fresh in that time and we are able to study more and more in that time. Afterwards, you can give break to yourselves. Then again, for half an hour, have something, watch television, talk on a phone, and then again begin your study. This way, for me, I think before the exam, at least you shall study for 7 to 8 hours. After making all these plans, your mind map, and choosing the appropriate time, you begin your study. But for the beginning of study, you need to have some material. Always gather the material before you begin your study. It doesn't mean that I've made a timetable. Yes, I'll begin my study from 9 o'clock and now I'm searching on internet. Which books do I need to study? What topics do I need to study? From where do I get the material? No, that is the wastage of time. All these exercises are to be done before the exam or before planning the study. So you shall have all the material available before you plan for any exam. First, you decide which exam you are going to appear. Then try to have the essential material of that exam. Once you collect all the material, then you make a plan. preferably, I say there are a lot of books available on internet. There are a lot of social media groups. They help you. They provide you study material in soft copies, but I prefer you to have your hard copies of all the books, all the material, because it's easier to go with the hard copies. You can carry everywhere, you can study easily. And in the end, when you study, you complete your one topic, please practice MCQs, practice BCQs, practice EMQs, practice SAQs, OSCEs related to the particular topic you have begun with. Trust me, this is a very essential way of studying. So before beginning, first of all, as I told you, you shall have the study material available with you. So what study material for all these exams you need to have? There are a lot of books. You will find different groups are sharing on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on different medias. The books we really require are Master's Dentistry, the Past series, MCQ book, Best of 5 in Dentistry, EMQ book. You can have SAQ book. You can have also SAQ books, because these books are, very helpful for the Part 2 exams as well. So these are actually essential for the Part 1 exam. But when as I told you, like each and every topic, for example, as I told you the example of development of tongue, like tongue cancer. After development of tongue, I switch to the tongue cancer. I will do the MCQ of tongue cancer. At the same time, I used to do from the best of 5, the same question. At the same time, I was doing SAQ. At the same time, I was doing EMQ. And at the same time, I was doing the OSCE questions of oral cancers of the tongue. So this way, when you study a topic from every aspect, you memorize more things and you are eligible to do a lot of, questions. If, for example, at my time, the question came from the tongue cancer that the frequency of a cancer in ladies this is just example I'm telling you. The ladies are having 50% of frequency of oral cancer compared to male. In your exam, maybe they will not give you a question like this. They may give you a question like the metastasis of oral cancer is so and so, like T1, N0, M1, like that. So you would be only able to do the MCQ or BCQ or a short essay question when you have enough knowledge. And according to me, to gain the enough knowledge, the best way is that you do MCQ of the same question, BCQ of the same question, EMQ of the same question, OSCE, OSCE, everything at the same time. So you will have a lot of material gathered. And you can make notes on any of your, for example, I used to make the notes on my MCQ book, like from the best of 5, whatever information I gathered, I wrote near that MCQ. From EMQ book, whatever information I gathered, I wrote. From SAQ, from book, from wherever I got the information, I quickly wrote near the question which I found in MCQ book. And in that way, at the end of or before the exam, I had very nice notes present on any of my book, which was very helpful for me to do revision in a shorter time. Other books are, although I did not follow, but different groups says you shall go for dental radiology books. According to me, these dental radiology, you can cover easily from these SAQ books and, OSPE. SAQ books and OSPE books of past series do have a very nice description of radiology. They do have a section of radiology. So I think that will be helpful for you. And you do need Oxford Pink book, that is called as clinical dentistry book, and you need Oxford Blue book, that is called as applied dentistry, Oxford book of applied dentistry. After having all these books, the second step, but first of all, I need to show you, these are the books actually. These are the master series, essential are these two books. Whatever I followed, I'm telling you that. These are very essential books because they give you questions from restorative dentistry, they give from pediatric dentistry, from orthodontics, from radiology, from pathology, from oral medicine. So these books are very essential. If you do not have hard copies, you can easily download them from this website that is called a Z library. It's free. You need to make account. If you do not have account, you can download, I think, 3 books at a time. But when you make an account, you can, I think, download 10 books at a time. So you can easily have these books from different groups. If you have joined, or if you want to join on WhatsApp, on Facebook, and there are a lot of people who share the books at different times, you can have them. Then here are the books of past series from where you need to, I don't say practice, but I say memorize the MCQs and BCQs. Believe me, not practicing like 2 or 3 times. I must say you practice 7 to 8 times to memorize the MCQs. And they really help you. You can go for EMQ books because they do give, extended matching questions. They are also very helpful because when you do extended matching, that you memorize more and more things. So after that, you can have these 2 books of clinical dentistry. As I told you, this book of clinical dentistry is usually called as pink book, and the applied sciences book is usually called as blue book. So sometimes we confuse, people in the group say pink book, it means they're talking about the clinical dentistry book. And if they say blue book, it means they're talking about the basic sciences books of clinical dentistry of Oxford and basic sciences. So here is actually a syllabus for diploma in primary care dentistry that is of Royal College of Ireland. You can find that on their page. And this is very, very, very essential. These are the topics actually you need to cover in a detail and in a proper way. They have told you about the paraclinical skills, what is included, and clinical skills, what is included, and what will they ask. Mind one thing that they are offering us 2 patterns of exam for DipPCD or MFD. At least for DipPCD, I can easily say because I've appeared in that exam, diploma in primary care dentistry. They give us 75 MCQs and they give us 15 best of 5 questions. So you need to prepare, prepare best for MCQ, and you need to prepare best for BCQ or best of 5. So this is actually their division of questions: 75 MCQ and 15 best of 5 questions or BCQs. These are the past papers I have gathered from different groups. Also, I wrote my own exam questions. These are the topics, actually, these are most frequently coming. Please try to read every topic in detail. Do not rely on the answers given over here. Do confirm the answers again after studying properly. And because sometimes, what answer I feel is okay, and I write it, okay, this is the correct answer. But you please don't rely on it. Again, I'll say, please have a thorough study and you see whether I have given a proper choice or not. So don't blindly trust or on any key. Please do study properly and match the key and then follow the key. These are the very, very, very important topics, which are most of the topics in my exam. I felt there were 30 to 40%. Although I did not get the past papers, 2 days before exam, someone on some group shared the past paper of his or her own exam, and I couldn't have sufficient time to see, but in a very less time, the questions I saw, they were repeated in the exam. Means the topics I had gone through I couldn't go due to short time properly, but I felt the topics from that paper were there in the exam, and there were around 30 to 40% of the topics repeated. You see, if you have 30 to 40% of the topics repeated, so and you're well prepared for them, it means you are very near to score for means 60%, because 40% is repeated, and the rest you have studied can make it 60 to 70% of study, efficient study. So do concentrate on these topics properly, and these topics are also repeated, as well as, again, a key point I say, please do not rely on the answers which are given over here. Do recheck them, then you can trust the answers. These are different questions given from different people. They have shared their own keys, and you can see them. And there are questions which are also repeated from, I found that some of the questions were repeated as it is from the best of 5 and MCQ book as well. These were the topics which were given in my time, in my exam of diploma in primary care dentistry. They were asking about all these important topic. Like, I just take the example of one of these, like as I told you about the pharyngeal arches. From the pharyngeal arches, they were asking about like in MCQ, they were asking about the buccinator muscle is derived from pharyngeal arch 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I had to give the proper choice in best of 5. In MCQ, they were asking like this, the fate of the pharyngeal arch 1 is this, and the muscles of mastication are derived from pharyngeal arch 3, or the tongue is developed from pharyngeal arch 1. So as I told you before, when you study in a very proper way by making a proper map, mind map, then you would be able to easily score the exam. So means one topic, the topic is not only pharyngeal arch, means I need to have a very detailed study of pharyngeal arch. Then I must do the relevant questions from MCQ book, from EMQ, or whatever book you follow. Please also try to do some of the MCQs from internet, because there are a lot of questions some different sites are sharing. You try to do these questions as well. This way, more and more practicing MCQ and BCQ, we memorize most of the things. But if we only study, we do not memorize much. When we are taking our own exam by repeatedly doing the questions from BCQ or MCQ or whatever, this is the way you memorize the things. So my opinion is that please do more and more and more practice. Whenever you are beginning with any topic, do most of the questions of that topic, so you shall have more knowledge about the topic. Again, these are the questions that were shared in my exam. Inshallah, in the upcoming tutorials, I'll be sharing, the answers, the relevant questions, and you can. I'm sharing my number in the end of the presentation, or in the end of my a guide, so you can contact me as well. Inshallah, I'll try my best to help you all. As I told you, we need to have a proper study plan. So what is the study plan? As I told you, it's up to you, but to me, I used to wake up 8 o'clock, then get fresh, breakfast and all that. I used to begin at 9 o'clock. Beginning at 9 o'clock, at least 1.3 means half at 1.5 or 2 hours continuous study I was doing. Then I used to give a little break to myself for 15 minutes, have snack or whatever you want, and then again begin. You do not need to sit on a couch or on your study table for whole the day. You just give break to yourself. When you are exhausted, switch to the next thing. Definitely, if you're continuously studying one topic, you get exhausted, and then your mind get very much soaked. It gets dry. Now if you will forcefully be studying, then your mind will not be adapting more. So it's better to switch to your mobile, switch to your television. You can have a walk, or you can have anything, or have a nap or sleep or whatever you want. But do give breaks after every 1.5 hours. This is what I feel. Continuous study is not good. So here are some tips somebody shared. I like that. Means for study, I think if you think the topic you are studying from the book, you are not understanding. And again, you are trying to study, but you are not understanding. Switch to internet, go and see the appropriate video, because there are a lot of videos shared. A lot of people are working on making the things easier. So go and see the video, because sometimes some videos are very nicely made, like they have more images, they have more tutorials in a way, like they are drawing and teaching you. Such things are always easy to memorize, rather than to read from the book a topic, 15 to 20 lines topic, and again you are studying and then nothing is getting in. So change your study pattern. Sometimes if you're easy with the book, with any topic, go for it. But again, I advise you, study the topic from different means, like from a written material, from a tutorial, from pictorial presentations. So in this way, you will have a very good concept of the topic, rather than to only study from the written material or only from the books. What to start with? As I told you, start with the most difficult subject or the difficult topic you feel. Then switch to the topics which are easier, because the difficult things, when you are covering early before the exam, will not waste a lot of your time when you will be near the exam. For example, for me, the embryology is the most difficult topic. I begin with embryology first, and the second difficult topic, the third, like this. I studied the difficult things before, for example, 2 months before my exam, or 1.5 months before my exam. Then I had very enough time for preparation. And please do mind one thing, try to complete your all study topics at least 15 days before exam. But those topics at the same time, you have to practice for the MCQ and BCQ. I advise you to not only give a read and in the end, before fifth means in the end of the covering all the subjects, you prepare MCQ. No. Topic, whatever you're studying, MCQ, BCQ, EMQ, SAQ, whatever, complete the topic, close the topic, switch to the next, or close the subject, switch to the next. For example, if you're beginning with pathology or in pathology, go for it. Complete all the topics at the same time from different books, close it, switch to the next, but with practice. But before, at least 15 days before exam, you need to practice only your MCQs or BCQs. As I told you, the most important points, wherever you find, do write on any of your book, on your sticky notes, on any copy if you want, but I suggest you to go for the MCQ or BCQ book, right? Then near the topics you are studying with the sticky notes, that's going to be easier for you. You will be not wasting time in searching the books and opening and again, because this MCQ and BCQ books are needed till the end of the exam. So these two books we will be having till the end of the exam. So keeping most important things on it will be very helpful for you. You will not be wasting time. As I told you, begin with the difficult, but in the difficult, begin with the basic. Please do not switch quickly to the questions or the clinicals and all that. First, you need to understand the basics of the topic. I'm repeating my question. For example, you had a question, we had this question in exam, buccinator muscle is derived from. When I do not know about what are the pharyngeal arches, okay, I know the buccinator muscle because I'm a dentist, we are studying this, I know it's a muscle of mastication and is supplied by buccinator nerve, and it is present on the lateral surface of my jawbone, and it helps me in opening the arch or opening the mouth. This much I know, but I do not know its basic, from where it is originating, or from where did it come. Then there is no use of study when I do not know the basic of vaccinator muscle, from where does it arise. So this way I waste my time of study and my knowledge is not sufficient to answer the question properly. That's why I request you to please start with basics and gradually go to the clinicals and the detail of the material. See, if studying anatomy is not sufficient if you don't study embryology of something. Studying physiology is nothing when you do not know the basic of something. For example, I ask you, you are asked about the question surfactants, the surfactants present in the lung. You know about the lung, but you do not know what is a surfactant, from where does it come, what type of lipids making it, or whether it is made by lipids, proteins, and all that. If you do not know about them, then there is no use of study. So please begin from the basics. Proper planning. For example, the way I studied is, for example, I started with oral pathology. Okay, in oral pathology, I started studying the topic like this. From MCQ book, I began oral pathology, MCQ book, question number 1 I did, and it was about the dentinogenesis imperfecta. After doing this question, I said, okay, I have studied dentinogenesis imperfecta, but I do not remember most of it. I switched to best of 5 to see, because best of 5 is giving you explanation, a detailed explanation again. I switched for the same question, a little different question in best of 5. After studying from best of 5, after studying from MCQ book, I had some idea that what sort of question will come to me in about the dentinogenesis imperfecta. Then I switched to my clinical books and basic book. I switched to my Oxford book of dentistry, the basic book. I studied the dentinogenesis imperfecta from there. And at the same time, I switched to my clinical book of dentistry and studied dentinogenesis imperfecta from there. Because before I did the MCQ, I knew like I'm not understanding the question properly, and I need to study it in a detail a little. That's why I switched to my books, textbooks. These short books we usually prefer because we need to save the time. I switched to my Oxford book, the blue book. Then I went to my clinical book because I wanted to cover this topic at once. I did not say like today I'm going to start with the dentinogenesis imperfecta from the blue book. After 1 month, when it will come for the clinical book, then I'll switch to that book. See, that is not a proper planning. That is not a proper way of study. Try to complete the things at once and do write your notes. Let's go. Same question. Then I went to the OSCE book. I read this question from the OSCE book. Like this 24 years old women present with your dental practice with discoloration. They were asking me about causes of intrinsic discoloration because they do give question like this. So one of the cause of intrinsic discoloration is dentinogenesis imperfecta. You see, from this detailed study, I could cover 2 more topics because there is a question in the exam coming from this causes of discoloration. My detailed study not only helped me to understand what is amelogenesis or dentinogenesis imperfecta, but at the same time, it helped me for another question, which also comes in the exam. What are the causes of intrinsic discoloration? So this way, I covered my topic from different means. I could answer 2 or 3 or 4 questions after only reading one topic of dentinogenesis imperfecta in a detail and in a very proper way. After studying all the topics, again, I request you do more and more practice. Practice means you practice MCQ not once, at least thrice when you are studying the topic. Before exam, at least you practice the MCQ books or try to cover them at least twice. Means you need to have more and more and more practice in order to memorize things, because we are human being, we are having, you know, a lot of other things. Our mind, but we can manage, we can make our mind more effective. So this is with make practice makes the things perfect. Thank you so much. I hope, inshallah, it will be very helpful for you. If you want to understand more, and if you need really any essential videos from me, or if you really want some material from me, do contact me on my given number on WhatsApp. And please do like my video, and please do subscribe my channel in order to have more updated information. Thank you so much.